The next thing I'd like to discuss with you are turnarounds. Now, turnarounds deal with something that you play, a fill, but you play it at a specific place in a song. Now, most pop songs that we have in America and all over the world are really based on a 32-bar type of construction. There's what we call an AABA, that is, there is 8 measures followed by another 8 measures that's very similar, and then a little different melody called the bridge. And then we go back to 8 measures of material that was very much like in the first and second 8 measures. So we have 8, 8, 8, and 8. The third 8 is different from the others, and it's called the bridge. Now, the turnaround in a song like that usually will occur at the 7th and 8th measures and at the 15th and 16th measure. Now, the reason it's called turnaround is because at the 7th and 8th measure, it turns around and repeats that 8 measures again. Now, at the 15th and 16th measure, it leads on to the bridge. At the very end, the last 2 measures of the 32-bar song, the 31st and 32nd bars, are not a turnaround if the song comes to rest. But if it leads on into another chorus, then that 31st and 32nd bar is also a turnaround. It means it turns around and goes back to another 8 bars of what was previously there. Now, there is a kind of inconsistency, but it's still used this way. It's inconsistent in that the 15th and 16th bars do not turn back around and repeat that same melody, but goes on to the bridge. However, we in music do refer to the 7th and 8th, the 15th and 16th measure, and the 31st and 32nd, if it again leads to a new chorus, as the turnaround area. That's where the turnaround occurs. And usually a melody will come to rest on a sustained note, or there will be silence, a rest. That is another place that we can make a fill. So we call the area where this occurs the turnaround. And we call what we play what we played on the turnaround. That's how we refer to it, the material that we played on the turnaround. Now, I'm going to use a song that I have previously played for you in this course, one that I wrote especially for this course. Take it easy. And I'm going to play it for you and play the melody up until the area where there is a turnaround. At that time, I will fill in, and I will, first of all, use scale-like material, scale patterns that fit the chords of the turnaround. So now I'm going to play this for you. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play it once again for you, and this time at the turnaround, I'm going to use arpeggio-like fills at the turnaround. Now, I want to let you know that I'm only treating the turnaround as occurring at the 7th and 8th bars, and it's indicated on the music that you see in colored measures. I am not treating the 15th and 16th measure as a turnaround, since I'm not continuing with the song, nor is it going to the bridge. It ends at the 16th measure. Therefore, I'm treating the last 2 measures as final bars rather than as a turnaround, which means that it's going to continue to either turn back around to the melody again, the AA melody, or it's going to repeat the entire song again. I'm only treating the 7th and 8th measures as the turnaround. So once again, I'm going to play it for you, playing pretty close to the melody, and I hope that you listen to the melody as I play it before I get to the turnaround, because I'm playing the melody and using phrasing and ornamentation and all the things I've been talking about up to now. I'm not playing the melody straight. So listen for that, but also listen for what I play on the turnaround as I play it for you now in an arpeggiated manner. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play it once again for you, and I'm going to continue using different variations of phrasing and ornamentation that I've discussed with you. But when I get to the turnaround, I'm going to improvise freely. That is, I'm just going to play something that I hear in my mind that is not based on a scale. It's not based on an arpeggio. It's just free improvisation, but it does fit the harmonies. So once again, here is the song, Take It Easy, this time at the turnarounds, free improvisation. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play an accompaniment for you of this song, and I invite you to join me and play along, starting out by making up scale-like patterns at the turnaround area, and then play it again. And when you feel very comfortable with it, move into arpeggiated versions at the turnaround. And when you feel comfortable, move then again into the free improvisation. Try each one until you get comfortable with it. Play it over and over. It's the only way to really learn and to really feel good about it. Just play it over and over until you feel comfortable with one way and then move into the next. So finally you'll end up improvising freely at the turnarounds. And as you get familiar with this melody, don't be afraid to use the variations that I've mentioned, the ornamentation, all of the things that I've talked about, the ornamentation and the phrasing of the melody itself before you get to the turnaround. Just have fun with it and try to find different ways to, I call it, when I was a kid, I called it fancying up the melody. Make it fancy, but still let people know that it's the melody. So here we go again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.